magic of going down the hills and being surrounded by old architecture. In this episode, we had to redo our cliff. It was not nice. It was not a pretty sight. I think it's much better now. We also had to change our road layout and get a massive new interchange for the city. We did a real technocratic project by shifting all of our industry away from town. And yeah, we also added a new bridge with trains. So grab a coffee, sit tight, and watch along as we build up all of this infrastructure. Hello, and welcome back to one more episode of our series. Now, I got a suggestion in the comments that, basically the claim was these rocks, they look a bit off, and to be honest, I agree. And they mentioned the existence of a cliff mod, right? And I am aware of this mod. I tried using it before, and it's just a bit finicky for me. But since the last time I tried, I actually heard and I saw the video by the mod creator. I'll show it here. And I felt really dumb once I saw this video, because of course, why don't you use Move It? Because, as you see, I'm just going to turn on Anarchy so you understand what my problem was. Basically, it was this, that the cliff comes with a plateau, basically, right? So, let's put this straight. It comes with a plateau, and it would just be weird, right, to have it like this. But of course, you can place it and then use Move It to hide that. So yeah, I'm going to work on this cliff, make it a bit more realistic than it already is. And yeah, first off, I need to remove these. How am I going to do this? Am I going to do this by hand? I guess I have to, right? Yep. Okay. So let's just... What is this considered? Is it prop? I guess. Okay. Let me just turn all these off. And yeah, this is a prop. Perfect. Okay. So I can just remove all of these. And let's give it a shot. Yeah. Okay. Takes a bit of time, but we got this. I believe in us. Oh, and also, this is the perfect excuse to keep the game running so we can get a bit more money to work on those roads. Am I right, boys? Yeah, I saw the YouTube analytics. I know you're all boys. It's okay. I mean, men, judging by the ages, but get the point. That's the cliff removed. I'm gonna remove these as well for now. I believe these were... Let me check. Yeah, okay. So I can just remove this. Okay, and now it gives us something to work with. Let's see how this goes, okay? Let's go on this journey together. this looks like this. I'm just trying a few things out because this is not as easy as it may look at first sight. I don't like how this looks so far. So let's try something else. Okay, I'm starting to see the potential. I think we can get around the way this looks right now. Let's just keep on plopping them and hopefully we get a good result in the end. We'll see. Okay. What do you think about this? Think we got lucky? Seems like it's going to the bay. Now, I know you're gonna say it's probably not very realistic to have a hurricane in, you know, the Iberian Peninsula or whatever. But, I mean, that's Cities Skylines for you. It's only built thinking about North America, and here's the result. Now, can you please stop, sir? I have a cliff to finish, sir. Oh my god. Okay, I don't think it's gonna threaten me. I'm gonna pause the game just so I can build without this thing and blowing up in my ears. You know what? No, screw it. In an attempt to make this feel or look a bit more natural, I'm gonna try a few options. I'm gonna try and extend this and then slope to see if we get the result. And then soften. See if we get the result we want. Let's see. Still a bit too much. Try to use a few bushes to see if we can just sort of disguise this massive break. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, I don't think we can, sadly. The bushes just don't go there. I don't know, it looks a bit weird. Honestly, I don't know. I'm gonna need your opinion here. I'm not sure this looks better. I'm not saying like the other rocks looked amazing or anything. It's just, I don't know, these plateaus kind of put me off. It's not that they don't look good. They do, they look realistic. It's just, I don't know. I'm split on this, I'll be honest. Not exactly sure what to think. But yeah, we're not gonna overthink it for now. We're just gonna leave it like this. Just do a little final touch. And yeah, I mean, it looks good. We do have a bunch of free room now, so maybe we can think of if we want to do anything here, if we want to extend houses. Want to do like parks or I don't know. For now, I'm just gonna fill this with vegetation, and yeah, just try to create like a breakaway from the cliff. You know, you don't want people going there and falling down and all that. So yeah, let's do that for now. Okay, that looks good for now. I have a really big plan that I would like to build somewhere in these hills. So take a look at this town. This is an old town in Portugal. It's called Óbidos. It's basically a wall inside. I mean, it's basically a village. It's not really a city. It's more of a village. Fully enclosed within walls. Now, this is not easy to replicate in Cities Skylines. One way you could try to do it is using keys. Other ways he's using just placing prop walls. It takes a lot of work. But I do want to give it a try, like building a more medieval, even more medieval than this, somewhere in those hills further down the line. But it's a cool idea I had, and I would like to do that one day. Now, at the moment, we have 1,400,000. Because, you know, I've been letting the game running while I work on this. It took a long time to get this working properly. We're up to we're up to 9K people. People have slowed down moving into the city because we don't really have new buildings right now. But I think I'm going to work on our roads. How I picture this highway is basically I'm going to move it to this side of the hill. So instead of it going down the left of that hill, I want it to go down the right. And then basically over here, I want the highway to just go through these mountains as a tunnel. And then to make it a bit more realistic, so we don't want to just hide the whole highway and be done with it. We want the highway to come down here and go through there. And that has a double purpose. The first one is to create another outside connection, because right now the only outside connection is this bridge here. I mean, we do have like shipping routes if we want them. We do have those connections. But this map only has one road outside connection. And it doesn't have rail either, which is something, obviously, I want to grow as well. We can transform, and we're going to transform this bridge into a road and a railway. And then the railway, I want it to come through the center here. And then we're going to create, I'm not sure yet where exactly, but of course I want the railway to go to industry, which is going to be this area here. We want to have it in the middle of city, mostly for historical purpose, you know, like to create an old train station. I don't typically use train as a mode of transportation, except for, you know, trade. But yeah. And over here, we're basically going to have a massive intersection that's going to connect to a massive avenue that I'm going to place somewhere around here to connect our city and our industrial area. And all of this, once we're done, is going to be moved here. And then we're going to start the heavy industry. So yeah, to do this, however, I do have to pause the game because, you know, if I keep on playing without an outside connection, things can get really ugly really fast. So yeah, let's get on with it. I'm gonna be honest. When it comes to intersections, I'm no perfectionist. This is not something that I'm super good at, as you can see. Please don't judge me. Please don't be mean. Okay. Just having fun together. Okay. We are gonna start using this as industry since our intersection is all done. So before we do that, no, actually let's get on with it now. I'm gonna delete all of this because I messed up the roads and all of this was gone. It's probably important that I explain why I don't mind doing this. So look at a city like Lisbon, you know? Oh wait, this is the garbage, right? Look at a city like Lisbon, right? For the longest time, it had industry in its suburbs. But as the city grew, those suburbs were absorbed by the main city. And what happened when those suburbs got absorbed was basically the industry got relocated. And those old industrial areas ended up... Hold on, let me just paint this with the... Actually, I'm just going to delete all the tilings. As I was saying, those old industry areas got adapted to other uses, mostly like cultural districts, you know, a lot of artists and so on that just go into those areas and basically give it a new life, you know. This happened a lot in the, what we call the Western Lisbon, but it's really Northwestern Lisbon. I can show you some photos. Like, as you can see, these are old industrial areas. They were already starting to be abandoned by the time, you know, Portugal joined the European Union and all that. And once they did, you know, those industries kind of got left to die. And by doing that, the city had to, and the companies themselves, not even just the city, but the companies had to, you know, relocate. And in doing so, they gave a new life to the city. So I think that what I'm doing is realistic. These are things that happen in big cities when they grow. And of course, you can argue, oh, you haven't grown to that point yet. And I would say you are absolutely right. But I think it's okay to anticipate the future. You know, the good thing about playing Cities Skylines is you can see the future. And the future I see for my city is one where this industry is no longer free. And where I am going to use some really cool assets to symbolize that transition from an industrial area into a more cultural, even residential, chic area, cultural district, whatever you want to call it. Okay? So yeah. For now, I'll clean this up later. Yeah, it's time to remove our industry. And, you know, I'm gonna be honest, the way I do industries, it's not something I'm super fond of. I mostly just try to create like harbors, and in this build we're going for, I think it's really fitting that we have a harbor and, you know, a sea-centered industry. So yeah, that's what I'm going for here. I'll just try to center this as much as I can. Boom. Yeah, so the logic here is to create this like oil industry hub, like on both these piers. We're gonna be served by that. And then over here on this side, we're gonna have our shipping harbor. So like, we're gonna have a cargo harbor, and we're gonna have the shipbuilding company, like we discussed in the previous episode. Plan is to have a railway track that gets into the industrial area and then has a connection to here where our harbor is going to be. In the future, I also would like train tracks to go into the city, so I can place one of the historical stations and I don't know, something like the French one or even the historic central station, the German one. Just even if I'm not going to particularly use it at this point, you know, having passenger trains is a bit overkill. Truthfully, having cargo trains is probably a bit overkill for the size of my city, but I just like to implement it early. But yeah, placing the historic train station somewhere close to the center of the city also adds a bit of realism, you know. So yeah, let's get on with it. I think I'm gonna place the train depots in this little opening area I already carved out. Let's see how this goes. Now, I know this looks far from perfect. I understand that, okay? This is definitely not my specialty. It's not something I'm super good at. But I do have a way of trying to, like, disguise this. And of course, it looks much worse if all of this is empty, right? Because it just stands out a lot. My plan was probably going to create some type of industry here. I'm still undecided if I want a forestry industry or a ore mining industry, you know, or like I guess the mountains and all that. But like, think of the industry as, you know, just this area, and then there's like an outer belt here where I would like to create some industries. But for now, let's just connect this train track. Now, I know most of this episode was maybe a bit underwhelming. I don't know. You tell me what you think, because, you know, doing a full episode on infrastructure, I mean, I don't know if it's super interesting or not. Especially when my skills on infrastructure are not really something to be proud of. But yeah, anyways, this has been the episode. And in the next one, we're gonna come back to the city. Well, we're gonna do a bit of industry just to like expand it a bit. But we're gonna focus back on the city and expanding it and doing historical downtown. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.